Have you ever noticed that extremely intelligent people often seem a little distant? They may not talk the most. They may not chase every conversation. They may not feel the need to be surrounded by people all the time. And because of that, many people misunderstand them. They think maybe they are antisocial. Maybe they are arrogant. Maybe they just don't like people. But the truth is often much deeper than that. People with extremely high IQs don't always prefer solitude because they hate social life. They prefer solitude because their minds rarely stop working. While others may enjoy constant noise, quick conversations, and endless social stimulation, a highly intelligent mind often needs silence to process the world. It needs space to connect ideas, space to question things, space to think without interruption. For them, being alone is not always loneliness. Sometimes it is recovery. Sometimes it is freedom. And sometimes it is the only place where their inner world finally makes sense. So why do people with extremely high IQs often prefer to be alone? The answer is not as simple as being shy, cold, or socially awkward. It may be one of the clearest signs that their brain experiences the world differently. The first reason is that highly intelligent people often need quiet space to process deeply. Their minds do not simply receive information. They examine it. They question it. They connect it to other ideas. A simple conversation may end for everyone else, but for them, it can continue inside their mind for hours. They may replay certain words. Notice hidden meanings. Think about why someone reacted a certain way. Or connect one small idea to something much bigger. This is why constant social interaction can feel mentally heavy. It is not that they dislike people. It is that their brain processes more layers at once. While others may enjoy surface-level conversation, a highly intelligent person may automatically search for depth. They ask, what does this really mean? Why does this happen? What pattern is hiding underneath this? And because their mind works this way, silence becomes necessary. Solitude gives them room to think without being interrupted. It allows their thoughts to settle. It gives their brain time to organize everything it has absorbed. To other people, this may look like distance, but internally it is often deep mental work. So when someone with a very high IQ chooses to be alone, it does not always mean they are lonely. Sometimes it simply means their mind needs space to breathe. The second reason is that highly intelligent people are often more interested in ideas than social approval. Many people enter conversations looking for connection, validation, or acceptance. There is nothing wrong with that. But people with very high IQs are often driven by something different. Curiosity. Their minds are constantly asking questions. Why do people behave this way? Why does society work like this? What happens if this assumption is wrong? Because of that, they can spend hours exploring an idea that most people would forget within minutes. And sometimes this creates a gap. While others are focused on fitting in, they are focused on understanding. While others are following the conversation, they are examining the deeper pattern behind it. This doesn't mean they think they are better than anyone else. In fact, many highly intelligent people struggle to find others who enjoy exploring ideas as deeply as they do. As a result, solitude often becomes more stimulating than small talk. Not because they reject people, but because their curiosity never stops asking questions. The third reason is something many highly intelligent people rarely talk about. They are often misunderstood. From the outside, their behavior can seem unusual. They may speak less, take longer to respond, need more time alone, or lose interest in conversations that others enjoy. Because of this, people sometimes label them as cold, distant, arrogant, or antisocial. But the reality is often very different. Many highly intelligent individuals are not avoiding people. They are avoiding interactions that feel shallow, repetitive, or emotionally draining. What they truly crave is meaningful connection, a conversation that explores ideas, a discussion that challenges assumptions, a person who is curious enough to go beyond the surface. Unfortunately, those connections are not always easy to find. And after years of feeling misunderstood, many intelligent people begin to enjoy solitude more. Not because they have given up on people, but because being alone feels easier than constantly explaining themselves. If you've ever felt like nobody quite understands how your mind works, you're not alone. Sometimes, the preference for solitude is not about isolation. It's about protecting a part of yourself that few people truly see. The fourth reason is that highly intelligent people often become mentally exhausted by too much social stimulation. Most people think exhaustion comes from physical work, but mental energy can be drained just as quickly, especially when your brain is constantly analyzing everything around you. A highly intelligent person is rarely paying attention to just the words being spoken. They notice tone, facial expressions, contradictions, unspoken emotions, social dynamics, and all of that information is being processed at the same time. What feels like a casual gathering to one person can feel like hours of mental work to another. This is why many highly intelligent individuals need periods of solitude after social events. Not because they had a bad time, not because they dislike the people around them, but because their minds need time to recover. Silence becomes a reset button, a chance to slow down, to organize thoughts, to recharge mental energy. And the more complex the mind, the more valuable those quiet moments often become. For them, solitude is not an escape from life. It is part of how they stay balanced within it. The fifth reason may be the most misunderstood of all. Highly intelligent people often enjoy their inner world far more than most people realize. To someone on the outside, sitting alone for hours may look boring. It may even look lonely. But for a highly intelligent mind, solitude is rarely empty. Their thoughts are constantly moving, exploring ideas, connecting patterns, imagining possibilities, questioning assumptions. A single thought can lead to another and another, creating an entire world of discovery inside their mind. While some people need constant stimulation from the outside, highly intelligent individuals often find stimulation within. They can become fascinated by a question, an idea, a book, or even a memory. And sometimes that inner experience feels richer than a room full of small talk. This is why solitude doesn't always feel like isolation to them. In many cases, it feels like freedom. Freedom to think. Freedom to create. Freedom to explore parts of reality that most people never stop long enough to notice. And perhaps that's the biggest misconception. People assume they are alone because they have less, when in reality, many of them are alone because their inner world already feels incredibly full. If you've ever felt completely comfortable being by yourself, comment the number 5 below. I'm curious how many people here genuinely enjoy their own company. And if you're one of them, you may be more different than you think. The sixth reason is that highly intelligent people often value depth far more than quantity. Many people measure their social life by numbers. How many friends they have, how many people they know, how many conversations fill their day. But highly intelligent individuals often see relationships differently. For them, one meaningful conversation can be worth more than 100 casual interactions. They are less interested in impressing people, less interested in popularity, less interested in being surrounded by a crowd. What they truly seek is connection. real connection. The kind where both people can speak honestly, question ideas, explore deeper topics, and feel understood without constantly explaining themselves. The challenge is that these relationships are rare. Not everyone enjoys deep conversations. Not everyone is curious about complex ideas. Not everyone wants to go beyond the surface. As a result, many highly intelligent people spend long periods alone, not because they cannot make friends, but because they would rather wait for the right connection than settle for 100 empty ones. And over time, solitude becomes easier, not because they stop caring about people, but because they learn that being alone is often less exhausting than feeling disconnected in a room full of others. In the end, it isn't that they need fewer people. It's that they need the right people. People who understand that some minds are not searching for attention. They're searching for depth. The seventh reason is that highly intelligent people often spend more time questioning life itself. While many people are focused on what is happening, highly intelligent minds are often asking why. Why do people think the way they do? Why do relationships succeed or fail? Why do some people find meaning while others feel lost? These questions may seem simple, but for an intelligent mind, they can become endless journeys of exploration. This is one reason solitude feels valuable. Quiet moments give them space to reflect, to examine their beliefs, to challenge assumptions, and to search for answers that cannot be found in a quick conversation. Sometimes this deep thinking can make them feel different from those around them, but it also allows them to see patterns and insights that others often miss. They are not just living life, they are trying to understand it. And perhaps that is why being alone rarely feels empty to them, because even in silence, their minds are still exploring one of the most fascinating mysteries of all: human nature. The eighth reason is that highly intelligent people often observe far more than they speak. In a group conversation, they are not always the first to respond. They are often the first to notice. They notice who dominates the discussion, who stays quiet, who seems confident, and who is only pretending to be. While others are busy expressing opinions, highly intelligent individuals are often collecting information. They watch patterns. They read emotions. They pay attention to inconsistencies. And before they speak, they usually want to understand the situation first. Because of this, some people mistakenly assume they have nothing to say, but the opposite is often true. Their silence is not emptiness. It is observation. It is analysis. It is a mind quietly processing far more information than most people realize. This is another reason many intelligent people enjoy solitude. When you spend your life observing deeply, you eventually become comfortable with silence. You learn that understanding is often more valuable than reacting. And sometimes, the person saying the least in the room is actually the one noticing the most. The ninth reason is that highly intelligent people often feel disconnected from surface-level conversations. It's not that they think they're better than anyone else, and it's not that they don't enjoy talking. The challenge is that their minds naturally look for depth. While a conversation may stay focused on events, trends, or daily routines, they often find themselves wondering about the deeper meaning behind it. What motivates people? What drives their decisions? What are they really trying to say? Because of this, small talk can sometimes feel unsatisfying, not boring, just incomplete. Many highly intelligent individuals crave conversations that explore ideas, perspectives, and human nature. They enjoy discussions that make them think, discussions that challenge assumptions, discussions that reveal something new about the world. When those conversations are missing, they may begin to feel alone, even when surrounded by people. And over time, solitude can feel more fulfilling than social interaction that lacks depth. Not because they reject connection, but because they are searching for a kind of connection that is much harder to find, one that reaches beyond words and into understanding. The 10th and perhaps most important reason is that highly intelligent people often don't fear being alone, because over time they learn to enjoy their own mind. For many people, silence can feel uncomfortable. The moment there is nothing to distract them, they reach for a screen, a conversation, or some kind of noise. But highly intelligent individuals often experience silence differently. Silence is where their thoughts come alive. It is where ideas connect, where questions emerge, where creativity begins. They don't need constant entertainment because their mind is already an active place. A place filled with curiosity, imagination, reflection, and discovery. This doesn't mean they never feel lonely. They do, just like everyone else. But there is a difference between being alone and feeling empty. Highly intelligent people often discover that solitude does not take something away from them. It gives something back: clarity, perspective, understanding, and perhaps that is why they are more comfortable spending time alone than most people. Not because they are disconnected from the world, but because they have built a strong connection with themselves. And once a person learns how to enjoy their own company, solitude stops feeling like isolation. It starts feeling like freedom. So if you are someone who often prefers to be alone, maybe there is nothing wrong with you. Maybe you are not antisocial. Maybe you are not cold. Maybe you are not difficult to understand. Maybe your mind simply works in a deeper way than most people realize. You need silence because your thoughts are active. You need space because your brain is constantly connecting ideas. You need solitude because your inner world is not empty. It is full of questions, full of patterns, full of reflections that most people never slow down enough to notice. And this is what makes rare intelligence so misunderstood. From the outside, it may look like distance, but from the inside, it is often depth. It is not rejection. It is processing. It is not loneliness. It is mental freedom. Of course, connection still matters. Even the most intelligent people need people who understand them. But they do not need constant noise to feel complete. They need meaning. They need depth. They need a place where their mind can breathe. If this video made you feel understood, comment the number 10 below. I want to know how many people here truly enjoy being alone. And if you want to explore more about rare intelligence, psychology, and the hidden patterns behind human behavior, like this video and subscribe to the channel. Because sometimes the quietest minds are not empty. They are simply thinking in places most people never reach.